What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving beta video. I'm just waiting for this to reroute to take the route I want because it's a little more interesting than the route that the navigation wants to take. So we are here doing a full self-driving beta drive. I have a bit to go here. You can see 32 miles. It says 50 minutes. Hopefully it's a little less than that. We're gonna have some highway on this drive, which is cool. I mean, that's part of going for a long drive is you got to take some highway, but we'll have a lot of off highway too. So still on 10.11.2, which is the version that has just been really bad for me. But earlier today, I tweeted about it. I had a 0 disengagement drive with only one intervention. I just tapped the accelerator pedal at one point where the car was being a little hesitant. And I was like, what the heck? This is now like awesome. Like, it was a really good drive. It was only about 7 or 8 miles, so it wasn't a huge drive, but it was very good. It had unprotected left, traffic light, highway, on-ramp, off-ramp, and it did it all, besides me tapping the accelerator once to kind of coax it along. And you can see I bumped up the speed here. It's just kind of habit. And even now, with the speed bumped up, people are getting kind of close behind me, so we'll leave it up. But anyway, we're gonna take this drive and see if Beta can drive me going to the gym here, see if Beta can take me there without me doing anything. No, it's not gonna happen, but we're gonna see if it can do well, and maybe if this version has been improving even without an update. So it's been over a month at this point without an update, which is like kind of crazy to think about. The cars get updated so much that the software in my car is a month old, and it's weird, you know. But Elon said that, I'm filming, it's Monday right now, I don't know when this video is going to go up, but Elon said that hopefully, I think Wednesday or Thursday would be 10.12, which he said there's a lot of changes. I would think so with this big delay, but you never know, and I hope that they're really good. So coming up to the yield here, we're going to stop, which I'm not going to allow because there's just people so close behind me. So I just tapped the accelerator. I'm not touching it. So you can see the car kind of slowly moves through. So we have an intervention there already, but it's something we know. The car, in my case anyway, pretty much always likes to go way too slow at yields. But so 10.12 should be coming soon. Excited about that, and we'll get some drives in for that. I'm going to try going to some new places. I do a lot of the same drives. So this one, you'll probably recognize some of this route, but then later in the video, it'll be totally new. So right here, coming up, we have speed limit 35 ends. And so the car in the past doesn't know what that means, and it just keeps going 35 when really it defaults to the state speed limit when it's unmarked of 55 miles per hour, which I usually set to 60. So let's see if the car has learned what ends means here. So 35 ends on this terrible road, and no, we're still going 35. I'll give it just a second because nobody's behind me. And yeah, the car does not know what that means. So I'm going to bump it up to 60, which is a pretty normal speed for a road like this. And we'll see how the car does. And most of the highway I'll probably just fast forward through. So anyway, let's see how the car does, if it can get us there. One intervention so far, and let's get going. So we have a car coming up here. A complaint a lot of people have is when you're on a 2-lane road like this, the car will phantom brake for vehicles, you know, in the opposite lane. And I do experience that sometimes, although I will say for all my complaining of this version, that specific scenario is something I've noticed seems better on this version for me. I drive on a road like this, actually going the same speed on my way to work pretty much every morning, and it was always so annoying. I mean, my foot was just always on the accelerator when there were other cars. Now, for the most part, actually, like, no problem at all. It's not doing that at all, which is great to see. It's not zero. It's not that I never experienced that, but it's much more rare than it used to be. All right, we have this right turn coming up here. So we're going up to the stop sign. A little slow in my opinion. That's kind of weird with the steering wheel. There's nobody to the left, and we're creeping, but it's completely clear. Creeping for visibility, and oh, it almost is like it was about to take off and then stopped itself. But there, so we're taking off. So that was okay. But the problem is this road, people, even though the speed limit is 40, people are usually going closer to 60 on this road as well. So the car can have trouble if somebody's coming up, but handled that really well. All right, so coming up to this unprotected left, turn signal is on. Again, we're going too slow, we're stopping too soon, but not a big deal, nobody's behind us. But I'm sure this person to our left is like, okay, grandma, let's go. But hey, that turn was actually handled really well. Now there were no cars for us to interact with, so that helps the car a lot. And again, speed limit here is actually 55, so I'm gonna have to bump it up. So tiny little bit of braking there. We got down 1 mile per hour, we dropped. And maybe it was because of that car, but really not a big deal at all. We're still kind of sitting at 59, which, whatever, I mean, that's really no different. See with this car, yeah, so this car handled fine, no slow. Oh, yep, there's a little bit of braking as we pass it. So you can see it's not very consistent. That last road, it didn't happen a single time. This road now, it's already happened twice with 2 different cars. All right, so coming up to our left turn here, it's just a two-way stop, so cross traffic does not stop. Cross traffic also is going probably about 60 miles per hour. So somebody to our left and nobody to our right, which is awesome. So if the car can just go, no, don't stop. See, it's stopping in the middle of the intersection. So I have to hit the accelerator because it's way too dangerous for me. Like 50 miles per hour speed limit. I'm gonna report that one. 50 mile per hour speed limit, but people, again, usually going 60 or so. And the car stops right there. Like, come on, you know, it's clear. You can see in both directions at that point, especially like you're in the road. There should be no reason to be stopping like that. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. And that turn's always been hard because it's just so hard to see both ways. And I would love to, you know, kind of let it try. But when I have to look, you know, in two different directions for traffic going that quickly, it's just not safe. So, you know, I just hit the bump. I tapped the accelerator and the car completed the maneuver. That's it. So that's another, was that 4 disengagements or interventions, I mean. So there you go. So that's our number. We'll keep counting as we go. And on this road, I don't know if you guys care or not, I'm going to bump it up because, like I'm saying, people usually go about 60, and it's just, I don't know. I don't want to hold people up if I don't have to. It's just more appropriate for this road. So if it makes the car make mistakes, then I guess that's my fault, but we'll see. So going around that bend there, a nice, I was going to say a nice casual slowing, and then it slowed a little too much. It's appropriate to slow a bit on a bend like that, but if I pull up my camera here, again, the rear camera makes it look like people are farther away, but this guy is like right on me because I'm going 5 over. So this is, you know, that's what I'm telling you, it's just the way the road is, but I don't need to speed any more than that. I think that's plenty fast, and this guy can pass me if he really wants to. So going over the train tracks there, we had some post-train tracks slowing, which is something Beta does. I'm actually going to report it. I didn't have to intervene or do anything, but it'd be nice to slow a little bit before the train tracks, of course. Not that those specific train tracks we needed to, but just as kind of a rule to slow for train tracks would be good. And then a couple little slowdowns there, and there we go. So I'm going 5 over, and I'm being passed. So that guy's got to be going, I mean, at least 65, if not 70, on a 50 mile per hour road. So. All right, so moving on to the highway, very good job there, moving into this right lane, and then, whoa, we need to slow down. Okay, cool. The car used to do this perfectly, and then it got a lot worse at it, and there, it did it really nicely that time. A tiny bit slow, I think, compared to the way most people would do it, but not bad, not bad. So getting onto the highway here, acceleration could be better, and I'm gonna tap the accelerator, because we have another pickup behind us that's aggressive, and then another pickup that's, you know, to our left here that doesn't want to let us in. And I'm gonna have to hit the accelerator. Wow, the car, or hit the turn signal. The car actually slowed down. Wow, that was really good. It slowed down. It saw that that lane was ending. I don't want to change lanes again, so I'm gonna cancel that. It saw the lane was ending and slowed down to get behind that truck. So that was actually a really advanced move. Now, I was going to turn on my auto lane changes, and we're gonna go 5 over, again, because of aggressive drivers. But I didn't. So any lane changes I'll have to do manually, but you know, that's how I just prefer to drive most of the time. And to be honest, highway is actually really good right now. So we'll probably just super fast forward through all of this. Unless something really interesting happens, then I'll let you know about it. Oh buddy, how I wish I could fast forward through traffic. So big backup there, and looks like we're getting off a lot earlier than I thought, which is actually really cool for Beta because Beta doesn't do anything on the highway yet. So we're on this off ramp and we have some more kind of back streets to take. Which intersection is this? Okay, this is gonna be tough. I don't know. It's gonna have to move over in front of like traffic coming from, like, let me put this up, like back up behind us. On the left side. So we'll see if the car can handle that. Oh no, it wants to go straight actually. That's my bad. I thought it was going to turn left here. So it needs to just go around this guy that's trying to turn left. I think. I don't know if that's the right move. I see other people doing that. So kind of, it's a little confused, kind of hitting the brakes. It's asking me to, you know, put a hand on the steering wheel, which I'm doing, and then it is going around. And hey, handled beautifully. Handled beautifully. I love that. That was really nice. It was a little timid, but to be honest, so was I. I was like, wait, are we turning left or what are we doing here? So this is a route I don't think I've ever taken, even like myself. So this will be very interesting to go onto streets that I'm not familiar with as well. And I don't want to make this video too long, but I do want to say, when I went to Tennessee and was driving around Tennessee in places I was unfamiliar with, it gave me it really boosted my appreciation of beta, because it is a lot more difficult to drive on roads you are not familiar with. And beta pretty much doesn't have a memory, like you or I. It just has to look around and figure out what to do. So that's what I was doing, in this place in Tennessee, especially at night. And it's daunting. I often was going below the speed limit and things to try to find turns and make sure I wasn't missing things and all of that. So yeah, that really impressed me. So let's go through these back roads. This will be fun. New territory we've never tried. Shouldn't be too complicated, but hey, beta's got to do the easy and the hard stuff. So moving over, got a little scared of those cars on the left. I'm going to report it. I didn't have to do anything in that scenario again, but yeah, you could tell beta was not liking the people to our left there. All right, so coming up to a four-way stop here, we do have a left turn. We need to move into the left turn lane. You can see the car is planning to do that with its kind of indication on the screen there. Moves over, and as of now, we're the last one here. So this should be pretty easy. So he goes, and then the pickup goes, and then we should go. But I find sometimes if people are going too fast towards the intersection, beta, okay, no, you're doing perfectly. I should not badmouth you. Even though you're clearly there first, if people are quickly coming towards the intersection, sometimes beta wants to wait for them, maybe because it thinks they're going to fly through it or something. But wow, that was handled perfectly. That was really nice. Moving over just a bit for that truck there, a very big truck, really nice. It's those little comfort things, especially when it doesn't write, of course, that makes autopilot and beta really nice. So let's see, yeah, so no braking for these vehicles on our left, but yeah, that moving over for those huge vehicles is great. So coming up to the stop sign, you can tell it's mapped because yes, there is somebody in front of us that's also stopping to slow us down, but the way the car slowed down way before that stop sign, it knew it was coming. So it kind of had that, info in its map data and got ready for it. So we had to wait for them to turn left, so this might be a minute. Okay, so then we're gonna move up and the car is too slow? All right, tap the accelerator. we were just kind of inching out there slowly, and there was, I'm not sure if you could see it, but there was a truck coming up behind us. We weren't anywhere near it, but if the car continued to inch up too slowly like that, then, we were just going to be in the way and cause confusion, and I'm not all about that. So another intervention there, but I will say we're at, like 15, 16 miles? I just looked, and we are, so these are new. Okay, new thought. You can tell these stop signs are new because of the orange flags, and it was not mapped. The car kind of like accelerated a bit until it really saw them, but hey, handled beautifully again. Like stopped, it was our turn, and we just went. So that was great. But yeah, so I didn't want to cause confusion in that last intersection, but that's another intervention right there for us. But yeah, no disengagements after 15, 16 miles. Not that it's a downtown setting or anything, but hey, this is still impressive. I'm really enjoying this, especially when, a week or two ago, this version it wouldn't do this stuff even. It was just having so much trouble. All right, so you can tell if the stop sign's mapped or not. So yeah, we already started slowing well before it's displayed, and it's a nice gentle stop. The stop is usually harder if it's not mapped, and it will stop farther back. So stopping way too far back, you obviously can't see, but I think this is a consequence of that 0 miles per hour thing. So are you creeping or you're going too slow here? I mean, you can't see at all. And there's, okay, I'm pressing the accelerator because it's just, yeah, the car was like kind of creeping and stopping and it just wasn't really going. And again, that's like partially a comfort thing, but also partially like I can't just hang out there, and wait for the car to either stop or try to dart out or something. So I just move it through those situations. So again, another intervention, very hard to see there in both directions, but that's how it is. So handling this curve, okay, going around this bend. Oh, here's some stop cars. Let's see. Yeah, so you're stopping. All right, that's good. A little bit, the stopping was a tiny bit hard, but it obviously totally appropriate amount of room. I found that sometimes, though, on those bends, it is getting really close to the yellow, or even like kind of getting a tire on the yellow. That never used to happen. I'm not sure why that's going on now, but lots more traffic. This is not a fun drive today. Well, this has been just awful. The beta has done fine, but waiting for so long is terrible. It's taking forever. I will say the positive point for beta is it did not try to go around everyone. We are on the average setting for autopilot, not on timid or whatever it's called, chill. So we're on the average setting, and it didn't try to go around, which in the past, in a long line of cars like that, it would try to go around either side, even though it's like totally stupid and ridiculous. It didn't do that. Now, we're coming up to the stop sign here. We're going to see if we can handle it, and I'm going to do my best not to push it through because I'm, of course, like impatient right now at this point. So I think we should go after, I don't know, yeah, after the semi, I think, is our turn. But the guy to the left is blue. So the guy to the left is going, and now we should definitely go. And I'm just touching, no, I'm not. Okay, I was just about to do it because I was like, I'm not waiting here. And it did go through, so that was good. Yeah, obviously you can guess my patience is a little thin after that, and the people behind me are probably like, if I'm going to sit there and everyone's going to go, that's not going to be acceptable. So I'm glad it handled it well, and I didn't have to push it through. So, this is taking so long. Like, this is not the normal drive, but you know, whatever. At least I'm getting hopefully a cool video out of it. So three-way stop here, kind of a weird one, but shouldn't be a big deal. There's not a whole lot of traffic. So we stop, and then we can definitely go. So that's pretty interesting. It didn't even wait for the truck turning right over there, even though they were there before us, but they clearly were turning right, so we don't need to wait for them. So that was actually a really smart decision. Now slowing for this roundabout, like what is this? We're stopping way back here. Like maybe it thought the change in pavement was, okay, like total stop. I have to hit the accelerator because who knows what that guy's gonna do. I don't wanna confuse him. I don't wanna sit there. So again, it's an intervention, but all I did was tap the accelerator and then we went through really nicely. If Tesla could just stop the stopping at yield signs that I'm experiencing, it would eliminate so many interventions for me. But we're not there yet, I guess. All right, so that entire last stretch I just fast forwarded through a lot of was handled beautifully. Some of the curves when going to the right, the car goes a little too far to the left and even spends a tiny bit of time, it seems like, on the yellow line, which is not good. I noticed even one car gave me a little more room. They kind of moved over as they saw me coming because my car was like so much on the yellow line. And that never used to happen, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Oh, let's see how car handles this. Well, it doesn't have to. So I'm going to, I think, wrap up the video here because it's taken me so long to get here. I want to just get out and go when I get there. But I'll finish the video to the end. Here are the stats, however many miles the drive is. So looks like we've gone 29 miles so far, and we have another 3 or so to go. So about 32 miles or so. But yeah, the stats are up. This is how the drive went. So far, no disengagements. Hopefully I don't have one coming up in the next couple minutes here. But few interventions, I mean several interventions. And, you know, it's not a downtown setting, it's not the most complicated drive, but it is a long distance that the car had to cover in multiple different situations, highway, more of like a busier area in the beginning, less busy area here, lots of cars, lots of bends in the road, lots of shadows, hard shadows from the trees. And I'm actually very impressed with this drive, especially because I've just been so frustrated with this version, as I've said multiple times. It's nice to now, it seriously seems like Tesla flipped a switch. There's some people who say like, Tesla can modify this stuff without sending updates to your car and how beta behaves. And there's other people who say absolutely not. That's impossible. I really don't know if Tesla can do that or not. I mean, I would think it's possible. I don't know if they actually do it. It feels like they flipped a switch on this version without my car receiving a software update that I'm at least aware of, anything that I've seen. Because before, I mean, the wheel was just kind of cranking to the right or the left. It was stopping in the middle of roads. Like I would have it would make a right turn, and you know, I'm not filming, but I'd be like, oh cool, that was a really good right turn. It would finish the right turn, be on the next road, and then just stop. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, what is happening? I've never seen stuff like this before, or at least it's been a long time since I've had these huge, terrible mistakes. So anyway, those are kind of my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments. I'm impressed with this drive. I had a good time despite the interventions that I did do. This was a lot of fun and pretty comfortable, you know, which is really important. So I know that a lot of times you guys have different opinions. Some people think it does better than I say, and some people think it does worse than I say, but I like reading most of your comments. So that's a lot of fun. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I'd be happy to answer those. Hope you enjoyed this one, and you will see me and maybe full self-driving beta in the next video.
So Autopilot and I are happily driving along